All right, guys, how's it going? So yesterday I reviewed the English newspapers as well as the Spanish newspapers that I do every day. It was the first time that I'd done that in that kind of format, really. And the feedback was really positive. You liked it and said, would you do it again? So here I am, because if you ask, I will deliver. Well, it depends what it is. So we're going to start with the Daily Star, the great British Daily Star here. I dread to think what the front page is. Let's have a look. The front page is Beer Bog Roll Bandit. There you go. I knew it'd be class. Right, let's have a look. So, the great Trent debate. Is he right or wrong to leave, say the Daily Star? On the left side, here is he's given his all for club and fans owe him a big send-off. Right move, says Alan Shearer. And then on the other side down there, it's crazy to give up chance to twist title knife into Man United. Wrong move, says Jamie Carragher. So I haven't read any of these. I don't have time to do that in the cafe in the morning, to be honest with you. It takes longer to review the English papers than it does the Spanish newspapers, which is crazy. Liverpool should give Trent Alexander-Arnold a hero's farewell if he joins Real Madrid this summer. When he joins Real Madrid this summer, right? That's the view of Newcastle and England legend Alan Shearer as he backed the right-back's potential move to Spain. It's led to a backlash from many Liverpool supporters who feel the defender is disrespecting the club by walking away for nothing. Shearer, it's not really a surprise because there has been so much talk around Trent and Real Madrid. I look at some of the comments and a lot of the time I don't, because it irritates me. But when I looked at some of the comments on Tuesday, when the news broke, I know it's his club, but he's been brilliant for Liverpool, played a huge part in everything they've done in the past few years, and he's won every single trophy with them. He's been a main player in doing that, and he's played just under 400 games, been hugely successful and given everything. Trent should be allowed to make the decision to say, yeah, he wants to go and try something new, go into a different country for one of, if not the biggest clubs in the world in Real Madrid. He should be given a great send-off from Liverpool fans if it happens. There hasn't been a single occasion where you can question his attitude. I haven't got it in for Trent. I'm not bitter about his exit. I do think it could be handled better. I prefer honesty. But there's nothing to suggest he's not conducted himself professionally or been honest with the club in the background. I understand why people are angry, but I haven't got it in for him. However, there hasn't been a single occasion where you can question his attitude. I would disagree with that, to be honest with you. He's always given his all and tried to do it in the correct way. He hasn't got involved in all the talk. That's because he's shit himself. You can't say that he's not said anything because he's respecting. He's just like, I don't fucking, when I say something, the shit's going to hit the fan. That's why he's not said anything. If he's going to leave, he should leave with everyone applauding him for what he's done for that brilliant club. He's leaving a huge powerhouse and joining another one in Real Madrid. For him to try something different in a new country, after all he's done for Liverpool, that should be respected. He also said he believes Liverpool can replace the right back, as they have shown in the past. They've overcome club legends moving on. Look at the great players they've had that. Look at the great players they've had that have always been replaced. For a great midfielder in Graham Souness, you then get Steven Gerrard. Liverpool will move on, still be a great club, and will still win stacks of trophies. There's no doubt about that. Right, okay, so Jamie Carragher, what's he got to say? Are you interested in what Jamie Carragher's got to say? I've got to be honest with you. Jamie Carragher gets a bit on my nerves. He hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything wrong. It's because everywhere I fucking look, everywhere I turn, whether it's a newspaper, a podcast, social media, TV, it's Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville. At first, I thought it was good. Do you know what I mean? Like, I like the banter and all that. Now it's just like, it's like Sky have gone, keep it going. It just... It doesn't mean it. I feel bad saying that. I remember a few years back, I always mention this when I feel bad about Carragher, but I don't know why it was, but I ended up speaking with Jamie Carragher's dad on the phone, and I don't know why that was or why that would be. It must have been to help with something, because I certainly don't ask people for things, and not saying that they asked me for something, but it must have been to help with something. I remember his dad saying to me, his dad was really nice, and my son Rob, I think Rob's 24 now. I'm not sure how old my son is. But, you know, you guys have seen Rob grow up, but he would have been 8, 9 or something like that then maybe. And I'll never forget Jamie Carragher's dad saying, look, Dunk, I'll send something for your lad from Jamie. Like, so I'm always grateful of stuff like that, you know. So I'm not being mean about Jamie Carragher. I'm genuinely not. I just get sick of it, you know. And I'll be honest with you guys, like, I like to be very open with you about how I follow things. And you know, we always take the piss how I can't pronounce names and stuff like that. That's because I don't watch the television programmes to do with football, really. I'll watch games on telly, but if I can turn the comms off, I will. I don't watch Sky Sports anymore. You know, the days of Soccer AM when it was fucking good with Tim and Ellen and all the Soccerettes and all. Just have a look on YouTube, put Soccerette no knickers or something like that. It's funny how the things you do remember. Terrible memory, but I can remember that. Soccer AM, the Soccerettes were great, weren't they? They would never allow that today, would they, with all them soft fuckers? Oh, man, what a crack back then. It was good. And also, you know, Fletch and Sav was good on BT Sport. But now, yeah, there's people on fucking YouTube on there on Sky Sports News. Now who gives a fuck about people? Yeah, but I'm not a YouTuber. I'm a bit more than that, to be honest with you. Anyway, just I don't like it. I read more than anything when it comes to football. You know what I mean? And that's why I don't pronounce the names, because I don't fucking listen. Anyway, so Jamie Carragher does not understand why Trent wants to leave. He's disappointed. He believes he should want to leave Liverpool in surpassing Man United's 20 league titles. And he says it seems like there's not one thing people are unhappy with. It's leaving on a free, or that he should have come out and told the club earlier. People are angry for 3 or 4 different things, Carragher said. Where I'm at is that as a local player and a Liverpool fan, Liverpool are in a position where they're competing for the European League and a European Cup every year. So if you're, yeah, but they don't win them every year though. This is what, you know, that's, you know what I'm saying? If you're a Liverpool fan and a local player, I'm disappointed that he doesn't think that this is it. I'm putting myself in his position where I'd be thinking what we could go level with Manchester United in league trophies. I've got another 7 or 8 years at Liverpool and want to get 3 or 4 ahead of them with a couple more European Cups. It sounds all very nice, but if you haven't got the owners to back, you know, we as supporters, Liverpool supporters, right, we know to the extent of how much the owners will back the manager. He's an head coach, or do you know what I mean? Like, we know that our owners are not as ambitious as Real Madrid, for example. We know our club's not, whether you want to admit that or not, it's the fucking truth. And how are the players any different? You know, if you're a player at Liverpool, you're going to be like, well, we're always going to be in there or thereabouts, you know, we're a big club. But look at January. We should have strengthened from a position of power, right? And what was I met with in January? We're chasing 4 trophies, Chubbs. What is wrong with you? I was like, fine, fair enough, okay. What happened? Because most of us saw what could happen with getting tired and all them different tournaments. And when we crashed out of the FA Cup, I was like, there you go, fuck it. You know what I mean? So, waste of time. In some ways, Real Madrid is a rival and no one will catch them. They are the biggest and most famous team, but I'm desperate for Liverpool to get second on that list. But Liverpool used to be as ambitious, and, you know, it used to be Liverpool, Real Madrid, do you know what I mean? This was before American owners. There's nothing wrong with Americans. I'm talking about people that are not interested in football. They're not interested in football, guys, right? So would you all right be in it, like, if you own something? I mean, well, I don't know. I mean, I'm competitive. But they put profit before, you know, team, I think. And I think there's other owners in the Premier League, as much as you might not like them, that they're more bothered about winning and then money next. Not necessarily like, it doesn't mean you have to be reckless. But for example, FSG, they're never going to spend a little bit more money to try and win the league because they're happy finishing first, second, third, fourth. I spent hours one day working out, you know, doing all the research on the potential, how much money you can make from marketing sponsorships by being champions versus coming second, third, fourth. And, you know, when you win, you have to pay bonuses, and when you win, you're probably paying the biggest salaries, and when you win the league, you've probably paid for the biggest players, so it's expensive to win the league, and you're not guaranteed to win it, right? So If you look at it and say FSG are going to spend an extra £50 million, they'd be spending £50 million from potential profit. Why? They're quite happy to finish second, third, or fourth. And when you realise that, the penny will drop. I never, ever realised that until I saw it in black and white. And here we go again. We're being made accountants, right? So I'm not talking about the difference in first, second, third, fourth prize money, Premier League money. I'm talking about everything that comes with being champions versus second, third, fourth. And it isn't a huge amount of money. So why would you spend an extra 50 million, 100 million if it's just going to come out of your profit? It just doesn't make sense. And when you look at it like that, you think, you'll catch on. If you haven't worked that out yet, I promise you that's all they're bothered about. Second, what does first, second, third, fourth means? Champions League, good run, Wonga, yeah? And now they'll be thinking about that FIFA Club World Cup. Now they're getting right behind it, FIFA, because that's £97 million to the winners of that, and you've only got to play 7 games, I think. Whereas in the Champions League, it's something like 15 or something, I don't know. Anyway, we're going off course. If I was him, this is Carragher on Buggerlugs, I'd be thinking that we've got a great opportunity to win the league this year and could do this and that, and at the end of this time put Liverpool in a position to top others. Trent is a player who looks at himself almost like a brand, and this is one of the big things I've been saying in my videos for ages. If you watch, people go with the simple things like, oh, he wants to go and win trophies. How many times have I said to you this is about being a brand? Because his best friend, Bellingham, I guarantee, will have been in his ear, right, saying, come to Spain, you'll be a Galactica, you'll be a brand Trent. I've been banging on about this for ages, so I'm glad I fucking read this, because he says, Trent is a player who looks at himself almost like a brand. I go back to an interview he gave on Sky Sports before Christmas where he was given options on which he'd pick as the most important for you. Captain of Liverpool, win the Champions League with Liverpool, win the World Cup with England, or win the Ballon d'Or. He chose the Ballon d'Or. I remember that. But the top Reds came out and defended. Oh, it was the way the question was asked. You know what I mean? Nah, that's not fucking good, to be honest with you. So Jamie's pulled it back there, to be honest with you. Hashtag no Diddy. Shearer, I agree with. You know, like, I genuinely aren't bitter about it. I'm disappointed with a couple of things, but it didn't cost us anything, fine. But people, you know, especially, you know, local fans, disappointed, you know, boyhood club, you could have captained the club, but the fuck, you know what I mean? Telling us you're going to do this, do that. The lad's got aspirations. He wants to go and do it. Let him go and do it, I say. I'm really couldn't give a fuck. So down the side here, you can't see it on there, but I'll just turn my version around here. So we've got the main man here, right? Connor. Connor is ready to step up. And I think he's a better defender anyway. I love this player. I absolutely love this player so much. I'm concerned about his injuries and things. But boy, oh boy, this kid does it for me. This is more. I would be more disappointed. They should be going for him, not him. Sorry, I'm getting bitter now. Conor Bradley has been built as the heir apparent for more than 12 months. Bradley will have to be ready to step up next season. Northern Ireland International made his big breakthrough last term. Yet now at 21, that regular starting spot may be up for grabs. Who says this? Steve McManaman. Bradley is a completely different player to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Trent's numbers in an attacking sense are, as Brendan Rodgers would say, fantastic. But Liverpool fans will hope Conor Bradley will be able to fill that void. You have a standard level and every year you try to improve. We all hope that Conor Bradley achieves that and becomes a superstar that people are talking about. And I agree. I really like that kid. Now, so that was the Daily Star. We are going to move on now to the Daily Express, which is the same group, I believe. And again, the leaving of Liverpool, I think you can see this. Giving up shot at more glory with Reds amazes Carragher. Shearer tells angry fans to show Trent some love. Bradley's class, but it will be tough to fill the void left by Anfield's pass master. I'm not really sure if you can see it, but and then there's the mural there or whatever. Basically, it's the same as what we've just gone over. So we do not need to cover that. And I actually think it's replicated again. But let's move forward. There's Trent there. I'm sure you can see him. Yeah, you can. Sick of fucking talking about him, mate, to be honest. What we got here? Daily Mirror. Right, let's see if we've got something different here. Have I not got that one? Oh yeah, it's there. First of all, now let's stick with this. Andy Dunn, can you see this? Oh, there he is. Can you see that? Yeah, Andy Dunn. Keegan was at least open about his Kop exit. Trent should show some honesty, that says. But you probably can't see that too good on there, but I'm not going to move the monitor. So let's see what this column's got to do. It says here, Britain's best sports writer. We'll be the fucking judge of that, won't we, guys? Way before the end of the 76-77 season, I was 2 or 3 years old. Kevin Keegan had told Liverpool and the club's fans that he would be leaving. It did not go down particularly well, but before long there was what you might call a grudging acceptance of Keegan's decision. I felt I was stagnating at Liverpool, Keegan would later say. I was just being honest with the punters, and I think a lot of them accepted my reasons. And that's it. And that's what this article is going to be about, really, isn't it? You know, and I'm already agreeing with it. Talks about what Keegan won for Liverpool, and then it goes on here. If and when he leaves for Real Madrid, the fondness of Liverpool fans for him will be significantly diluted. That is just a fact. For a start, Alexander-Arnold has not been as open with the supporters as Keegan was almost half a century ago. Do you know what, guys? That's the bit that annoys me more than the fact he's going on a free. You know? I know it's not done. Remember, my done might be different to yours. Done to me means signed, sealed, delivered, irreversible, contractually done. And that's not being done yet. I did a video on here last night. Trent deal not signed or something, and afterwards in the title it said Real Madrid what's the word, being cautious kind of thing, not taken for granted, I think it said in the title, despite confidence. And that's because I've now got a contact at Marca in Madrid, someone very, very close to Real Madrid that I've followed for a long time, and you know, I had an audio message sent to me last night about the situation. If you watch that video, you'll hear the whole thing, like what I discussed. But if you haven't got time or you can't be asked, basically it was like, well, you know, Real Madrid, you know, it's more or less done. They don't expect any problems because Trent's obviously been telling them for ages that he won't U-turn. But then they brought this contact, if you like, this journo said, the Alphonso Davies not comparable because I don't think Real Madrid were that bothered about him. But he did U-turn. He was expected to join Real Madrid on a free. He U-turned quite late, right? Recently, you remember that? And then the journal also said, and don't forget Kylian Mbappe. In 2022, told Real Madrid for a year he wanted to sign for them. And then in the last week pulled out, said, I'm not doing it. So because it's not done, there's still some caution in Real Madrid or in Madrid, until he goes there or until it's all done, right? So they're confident, but they know, Real Madrid know that they've been stung before, right? So the Madrid-based media, if you watch my morning briefing, my morning reviews of those papers, publicly it's all, everything's hunky-dory, but privately that club, right, is still like, we expect it to happen, but until he's fucking here, do you know what I mean? Anyway, sorry. He has never said whether he wants to stay or go, but neither has Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk. In fairness, I think both Mo and Virgil van Dijk have made it pretty clear they want to stay at the club. Even so, if he does go to Madrid, he could probably have handled his departure just a touch better, and I would agree with that. But that is not what will truly rankle with the Liverpool supporters. It's that what will truly rankle is the incessant commentary that says a move to Real Madrid is irresistible, even for a player at a club with Liverpool's rich history. There is a narrative from a good number of ex-professionals out there that actually suggests Liverpool fans should thank Alexander-Arnold for his fantastic service and wish him well in a new chapter of his career, which would be lovely. Great lad, great player, no question, but like it or not, that is not how supporting a club works. For a Liverpool supporter, and the same is probably true of a number of fan bases, the idea there is a bigger club than your own is unpalatable, not unpalatable. The lifestyle and the challenge in Spain's capital is very alluring. He will be playing alongside some brilliant teammates in a great stadium in a great city. But essentially, Alexander-Arnold, if the move is confirmed, will be saying he would rather, for whatever reasons, be playing for Real Madrid than for Liverpool. But again, this is where I have to defend him a bit. Like, like if he wants to go and play there, okay, it's how you conduct your exit for me. And at the end of the day, if you were a Liverpool player, what would you be thinking? And it's different if you're a local player, I know that, and you say you're a Liverpool fan. If you are a Liverpool fan, especially if you're from Liverpool, you're going to be like, I would never go and play for anyone else. But maybe, when he's just like, these fuckers aren't going to fucking, invest this, that and the other. I've got a chance to go and do this. But I do think it's to do with that brand as well, becoming a brand. I'm convinced by that. He's got a lot to answer for, that fucking Bellingham, to be honest with you. Because I think it all changed when Liverpool U-turned on signing Bellingham. And many people think that's why Jurgen had enough. And many people at the time, the minute that came out, that we'd ended our interest in Bellingham, that's when people were saying, that's Trent gone. So if we'd have signed Bellingham, if our owners had signed Bellingham, if they'd have financed that, I think Klopp would still be at Liverpool today, and I think Trent wouldn't be going anywhere. But maybe you're happy as things are. I don't know. Never mind the obvious attractions of a move. Liverpool fans will believe you don't choose to leave Liverpool. Liverpool chooses to leave you. That is the way it was when Keegan walked away, and that is the way it will be when Alexander-Arnold walks away. That is the way it has always been when any player walks away. There is little room for logic, common sense, or reason. If he does go, it would be smashing if Alexander-Arnold was given a warm, fond farewell. I agree, that would be nice. But that is not going to happen, as illogical as it may be. That is not how supporting your club works. I think if he had come out and said, look, I love this club, but I do want to try myself in another league or another thing. I'll give everything to this club until I leave. I think people would have took it a little bit better. There'll always be the fact that it went on a free. But it would have been nice, wouldn't it, if it had been stood at Anfield, last game, home game of the season, and the fans applauding him as if to say, we wish you well, son. Wouldn't it have been nice that this is your own stupid fucking fault, innit? So the thing is, if he hadn't have been free, and if he'd have been contracted, I don't believe for 1 minute that Real Madrid would have paid 50, 60, 70 million, because we don't want to pay 50 million for Dean Huijsen. And he is a fucking good defender. Anyway, so, what's next? Oh, Kop 0, Kop Hero. I'm not going to read this one because this, again, is going to be Carragher and, who is it, isn't it? Carragher and Shearer, and then, again, Conor Bradley at the bottom. All basically, done these interviews and all fed to the newspapers at the same time. That's what happens. What else do we have, guys? Cops and robbers. Blues owner, Chelsea here, the owner, unauthorised ticket agency flogging £6,000 seats for Liverpool title showdown. Can you believe that? Let's make that a bit bigger. That's what she said. Can you see that? Huh? Oh God, there he is again. Let's have a look and see what this says. If I can find it. There we go. Cops and robbers. Tickets for Liverpool's potential title clincher at Chelsea are going for a staggering £6,330 each. I won't pay that if I was a millionaire. It's ridiculous. And they're being flogged by a ticket agency part owned by the Chelsea co-owner. Him. The US tycoon is a director of Vivid Seats, which sells tickets to overseas fans, but is on the Premier League's unauthorised ticket websites list. The Chelsea Supporters Trust have already called for the Premier League to investigate, and investigate the fucking should. That's shocking, isn't it? Incredibly, Chelsea's own website is offering tickets for the luxury dugout club at £13,000 each. A package which entitles rich fans to meet the players and sit in luxury seats behind the bench. The £6,000 plus prices are for posh seats, corporate seats and executive boxes with a range of prices and places available. How much was that one, guys? 13 grand each. And then people wonder why I'm on here saying to you, I'm really not that bothered anymore. And I'm not. And I know people probably go, how can you not be bothered? I'm not, guys. This is why. Stuff like this, it's just not right. It's bad enough, innit, for an ordinary working class family. You know, imagine a young mum or a dad wants to take, you know, the kids to the game. How can they do it? They can't afford it. And they didn't get tickets anyway. It's all hyped to fuck. And I mean, if you think about it, right, I run a Liverpool channel and a Liverpool website that I've run for 27 years. Now, I'm supposed to be on here going out, oh, I'm a super fan, this, that, and the other, but I'm not. I'll never fucking lie to you about it, guys. I won't. No, it's wrong. I want Liverpool to be successful for you. Not me. I'm really not that bothered anymore. I get more satisfaction, me, on Sunday when I go and watch David Villa's Blue and White Army play down the divisions here in Spain. Away game, like the football used to be. The last away game we went to, it cost us €5 to get in, £4. You know, usually it's about a tenner. Season ticket cost me 45, 40 quid. Lovely, you know what I mean? Get a beer in ground for £1. Football's football. But that's disgusting anyway. So, and there should be a fucking, I'm not going to read the whole article out to you. I think you've worked it out for yourself, but that ain't right, is it? Let's move on. Early transfer window hands troubled clubs a PSR lifeline. I don't think it's that I was going to look at, is it? Oh yes, it was. I think it was, because I think the bit about Trent at the bottom there, which isn't really a big deal, but oh, for fuck, there we go. Can you see that? I've got it here as well. Basically, the article here, this bit about Trent, is just about what is it about? I don't fucking know, really. It's all to do with PSR, right? Accounting. I can see a lot of figures. And it's just, I don't want to be an accountant, basically. With regards to Trent, it just talks about him at the Club World Cup starting on the 14th of June. Talks about the transfer window being opened early. Nothing really, guys. In that, I think I just bookmarked it because I saw him. So let's move on. Apologies. Right, I know Liverpool gets a mention in this. This is the iPaper. I don't know if you can see that. In fact, I think that was the iPaper as well, actually. So, Toon joined race to sign goal machine David. Newcastle United have joined Manchester United, Tottenham, West Ham, Chelsea and Liverpool in expressing their interest in Lille goal machine Jonathan David. Is it David? Jonathan David? David? Like I say, I just read. The iPaper understands all six have made contact with the players' representatives and will compete with Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Inter Milan and Juventus for the soon-to-be free agent's signature. The Canada striker has taken his already prolific goal-scoring exploits to greater heights this season, sitting third in League One's goal-scoring charts and on 9 Champions League goals this campaign alone. Will not be extending his 5-year stay. Transfers scramble. English clubs are at an advanced stage and Liverpool is said to be one of them. It is unlikely he'll move to Old Trafford with the versatile forward, not the kind of profile United manager Ruben Amorim is seeking. The same can be said for Liverpool with their preferred pick, a more out-and-out number 9. Alexander Isak is thought to be the top target to fulfil that need. Newcastle are confident Isak will stay, especially if they can sneak into the Champions League next season. Blah, the fucking blah. I'm not getting caught up in the Isak stuff. I'm sick of Newcastle fans caps locking me to death the last few days. They clearly don't listen to my videos. They see the name and the title and don't pay attention. I have a great deal of respect for Newcastle. To be honest with you, I lived up there for a bit on the outskirts for a few years, actually. My chick's over there. I go to Newcastle all the time. I love the city. I was delighted that, you know, I didn't want to lose the cup final recently, but if I'm going to lose to someone, Newcastle, I can take that, you know, because if that had been a final that Newcastle were in against anyone else other than Liverpool, I'd have been rooting for Newcastle. I'm not sure Isak will leave Newcastle, to be honest with you, in the summer. But yeah, we discussed this, lad, on the live stream this afternoon. Let me know your thoughts on that one. What we got here? Oh, here we go. Reds fancy Frimpong to fill the gap if Trent makes Anfield exit. It's this here. Which paper's this? Oh, this is the Metro. Not really known for their perfect writing or coverage, but basically Liverpool are understood to have opened talks with Bayer Leverkusen as Jeremy Frimpong, who's been lined up as a potential replacement for Trent Alexander-Arnold. This has been denied this afternoon by the Liverpool Echo. Back in the day, the Liverpool Echo was brilliant, right? Now, shit. It's just a clickbait shite. But it's been denied, and I would agree with it. I made a video last night about Frimpong. There was a lot of stuff the last few days claiming that there's been talks and stuff like that, and I don't believe it. So I do think, however, I want to make this clear, and if you didn't watch that video last night, which was late last night, that you can't see him, can you? Sorry, where was I? The Frimpong. I do think that Frimpong would be a player that Liverpool would look at. I've got to be honest with you, because of the price that it would cost to complete that deal. And I think the reason you've seen Frimpong's name thrown about the last few days or weeks or whatever is because it's just people using common sense. I mean, think about it. So you're losing Trent, you're going to look at players that could maybe fit that profile or similar or that right side of the pitch, whether you rate him or not, and you're going to go, oh, he's cheap, that would be right up Liverpool Street. So then these Twitter twats, these aggregators, these clickbaiters, they just pile on it, and then eventually the press start to pick up on it, but it's been denied today, and I don't believe there's been any talks. I wouldn't believe there has been, but at the same time, I do think that I can see Liverpool sniffing around him, you know. All right, so listen, this I'm not really like happy with this video, to be honest with you. It's not really it's not my fault. It's just all about him, innit? But I hope you found it a little bit enjoying. It's hard to sit here and fucking waffle for 35 minutes about one topic, really. But yeah, let me know if you still want me to do these. Yesterday you did, because yesterday's were interesting, I thought. Today's are maybe a bit more boring. But unfortunately, I'm not here to entertain people, just here to tell you what's in the news. And I don't think there was a lot to talk about. I think maybe the column by Dunn was probably the most interesting for me, which is this. It might be worth having a look at that if you want to go and read it in full on the Daily Mirror's website. I'm sure it'll be on there. It's quite interesting, I guess. It's nice to read a little bit about Keegan there, because Keegan was before my time. I was far too young. So even I find it interesting to read something like that. And, you know, I didn't know how Keegan dealt with his exit. So I've learned something there, you know. And I think that's what I want to do with my channel, is try and educate you guys, not in a patronising way, but just like I've educated myself. Like, oh, I didn't know that, you know. So, and there you go. You know, there's the examples of, you know, Trent hasn't handled it very well. And I think most of you would agree with that, wouldn't you? Give me my dog snore, he's having a nightmare. All right, guys, bit like me. Right, I'm going. If you somehow like this video or something, please thumbs up the video. Please drop me a comment. If you want to buy me a coffee or a beer, because the weekend's here, then please do hit the super thanks button, the love art under the video. There are other ways of supporting me in the video description. There's some links in there. You can join the channel, whatever you want to do. And if you do use the super thanks, I always give a shout out to those people in my morning briefings. They're on my other YouTube channel in the morning. The link is in the video description. You'll see my mush pop up on here in a minute in a little circle, which will take you over there. But yeah, a comment would be nice. That's the main thing, really. I'm not really that bothered about thumbs up and shit like that. It's just what the kids say, innit? But yeah, have a good weekend, guys, and hopefully we will speak again real soon. Have a good weekend.